any deliberate attempt to be able to encourage companies and businesses to work 24/7. That is one of the notions wrong notions that I want to dispel. The other notion is that, some people say that, okay, this 24/7 thing cannot be legislated, for example, to make it a law or something. I think what the NDC is trying to do is not necessarily about legislating. It is about making sure that companies are able to have various, for example, the tax incentives. Companies will want to have lower taxes in order to expand their businesses, and that will help them to be able to to employ many more people. So there is the need to be able to support companies and businesses. So the other notion or a worry that many Ghanaians are talking about is that, this 24-hour economy, they are not sure whether President Mahama will be able to implement it, like what we used to hear, and maybe one district, one factory, one village, one dump, and all those things. And at the end of the day, we have not been able to see the needed development that Ghana needs. So I want to believe that from the perspective, the experience, and what for the track record of President Mahama, it is positive. It is positive. The way I've seen it, he has been able to build infrastructure. If you look at the Ghana Gas Company and many other infrastructural developments that he has implemented during his time, there is no doubt that he will be able to implement this 24-hour economy that we are talking about.
Okay.
Yes. So, for now, this is what I want to bring the first part of.
That's fine. That's fine.
And then we will then espouse the benefits of the 24-hour economy policy.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your presentation. And I think the viewers and listeners have heard you loud and clear. Yes, but before I go to the other panels who are here with me in studio, I just want to give a reminder to my listeners and viewers that, okay, the WhatsApp number or call-in number is 01521043913. So if you're outside Germany, you just need to add the code +491521043913. That is Radio TopAfric Hamburg. Yes, we are still live in Hamburg, and also, as usual, educating the globe on educative political issues. Yes, we've heard Dr. Na, who had just given his side or his opinion of what the 24-hour economy of John Mahama, the ex-president of the Republic of Ghana, is all about, and how he thinks that it is a good and novel policy that Ghana should adopt, because other countries or other developed countries are already implementing that. Yes. So let me go back to his brother, Charles Mensah, my own brother. Charles Mensah, are you online?
I'm here.
Good. Yeah, so fortunately for you today, Dr. Na, who is a researcher, has more or less done your marketing for you on one of your presidential candidates' policies. In fact, I will call his flagship policy as at now, that he's drumming home everywhere he goes, and trying to let the globe or the Ghanaian know that that is the game changer policy for the economy of Ghana and for the people of Ghana. So as a party, the NDC, what is your stand, or what is your stake, or why are you bringing out this policy to us? Why do you think it's now?
Okay, thank you very much once again, and once again, good evening to your listeners. Let me seize this opportunity once again to also express my regards to the national leadership of the NDC back in Ghana, and also the leadership of NDC in Germany as a whole. Your question is very, very clear, and it is very, very succinct in the sense that 24-hour economy, why is it that this time around it is being propagated to each and everyone in Ghana for the people to embrace it? Yes, the 24-hour economy has become popular in this particular election because of the current situation that we find ourselves. You know, we are in economic turmoil, and if something extraordinary is done, it will be very difficult for any government, any government who comes after Nanado to succeed, because looking at all the macroeconomic indicators, none of the indicators is very, very, appealing or is good in the eyes of the investor community or the international financial markets. So the 24-hour economy has received large traction because of the benefits and what it tends to bring to the economy, for which reason people see it as the game changer, which will salvage the country from the current quagmire it finds itself. This is because the 24-hour economy, as my senior brother has said, and let me begin by saying that if a senior brother like Dr. Na has spoken, there is little that I can add, or even there is none that I can add, because he has really done justice to the subject matter. But the little that I will add has to do with the fact that the economy we find ourselves currently is very, very bad. Debt to GDP ratio is not something that we can be proud of. The exchange rate is not something that we can be proud of. The interest rate is not something that we can be proud of as a country. The inflation rate is not something that we can be proud of as a country, simply because over the period, some months back, we have inflation coming down, but the last inflation figure as put up by the Ghana Statistical Service shows that inflation is inching up again, meaning the gains that we have chopped over the last few months as a result of the debt exchange program, the reality is coming back at the country, and for which reason inflation is climbing up again, and the dollar to the CD exchange rate is also climbing up again. If you are monitoring the space, you realize that even the figures as released by Bank of Ghana itself, which is the official rate, is also going up, and other macro indicators are also not in the best shape that we can be proud of as a country. So, looking at all these parameters, it has made the 24-hour economy and its antecedent benefits, which it will bring to the country, very, very laudable. For which reason, industry players like TUC and other organizations or institutions are all, hailing the policy that it is the game changer going into the future. That is why all the polls run by Global Info Analytics have said that the policy, which is the 24-hour economy policy, is the one that Ghanaians are all yearning to have after 2024 elections. Yes, my brother has already indicated that the 24-hour economy as an economic activity or an economic time period is all over the place, and it is not something that is new, simply because in our case as Ghana, it is new because over the years there have not been any deliberate government policy or government intervention to propel this agenda of having a 24-hour economy in Ghana. So what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying is all about the fact that yes, we are in the quagmire and we need to do something different before we can achieve a different result, because you cannot be doing the same thing all over again and expect to achieve a different result. So to achieve a different result, you need to think outside the box and you need to do things differently. By doing so, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama proposed that when he wins the 2024 general elections and become the president after 7th January 2025, he is going to implement what we call the 24-hour economy. And this is going to be done deliberately, for which reason there are certain interventions that the government will put in place to propel this particular policy or agenda.
Yeah.
The implementation of the 24-hour economy, the naysayers or the people who do not understand what the 24-hour economy is all about is persons who have decided not to understand the 24-hour economy, or persons who have been mischievous of the fact that the 24-hour economy is doable and it is something that will bring great transformation to the country.
Yeah.
Because the 24-hour economy has its antecedent benefits, which our brothers in the other side know very well that if the 24-hour economy is implemented by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, their return to power will be very, very difficult, because the 24-hour economy, they know that it is a game changer, and for which reason they are trying as much as possible to downplay the benefit that the 24-hour economy will bring. So don't be worried or don't be surprised to reckon that His Excellency the Vice President, who is a beneficiary of the 24-hour economy in the country where he had his PhD, will speak against the 24-hour economy. As typical of him, he in one breath said that the 24-hour economy is a bad policy, but on the same breath indicated that the 24-hour economy is being implemented. So how can a bad policy be implemented under your watch? This shows that the MPP, our brothers in the MPP, are jittery about the fact that the 24-hour economy policy is not coming from them, and it is coming from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, which the large populace, the majority of the electorate have welcomed this policy and have decided that they are going to vote for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, particularly about this game changer policy. Now, let me talk about some of the measures that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama have indicated that is going to ensure that these things are available to see the 24-hour economy run as anticipated. First of all, before you run this 24-hour economy, you need to think about the security aspects, what the company stands to benefit, and what the nation also stands to benefit. Yes, so to begin with, I will start with the fact that, in production management, you'll be taught about resources, and resources are scarce, which everybody who has studied economic in first year in SHS knows that resources are scarce, and time is also a resource, and the time that we all know we have at our disposal is 24 hours make a day. So beyond 24 hours, you cannot have 25 hours or 26 hours. So within these 24 hours, what can you do to maximize the full potential of these 24 hours? So we have 24 hours at our disposal. What can we do with these 24 hours to make sure that we get more out of it to help us to come out from this economic mess that we find ourselves? So His Excellency President Mahama thought that, okay, traditionally we have been working mostly for about 8 hours, and the remaining 16 hours we used to loiter around, either engage in other forms of activities which are not productive enough to prepare the economy to grow to the level that we are all expecting.
Charles, you have 1 minute to get down to conclude.
Okay, so he proposed that we are going to run this 24-hour economy in 3 shifts, 8 hours each, so that each shift will be made up of 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours, making it 24 hours. And the first benefit that the 24-hour economy is seeking to bring on board is the promotion of employment. You know, just recently, the Ghana Statistical Service released the unemployment rates for the last quarter of 2023, and it stood at 14.7%, almost 15%. And you know, this number of teeming youth in one way or the other a time bomb, and if something extraordinary is not done about it, it will escalate into a situation whereby the peace and stability of the country will be threatened. So the 24-hour economy, which His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has proposed, has a lot of benefits, and the measures that he intends to put in place to ensure that the 24-hour economy takes off smoothly, he has also espoused those measures, which include the security, the tax rebates, tax incentive, electricity tariffs, and financing opportunities. So
that's fine.
By and large,
that's fine, Charles. So I think I've given enough time to say whatever you want to say, and in defense of your party. So let me give my in-house guest, your friend, Mr. Wadud, the opportunity. Mr. Wadud,
yes,
you've had the NDC.
I'm not seeing his face.
Don't worry. He would be put there.
Okay.
Yes, he will. But I hope you can hear him, right? Yes. So yes, Mr. Wadud.
Yes.
You've had the NDC as usual.
Clearly.
And you've had the resource person, Dr. Na.
Exactly.
And I have seen that Dr. Na is in favor of the 24-hour economy. Mm-hmm. And you've had your colleagues from the NDC also trying, as usual, to let Ghanaians buy into their policy and to buy into probably their incoming manifesto. Yeah. As a government in power, okay?
Yes.
Today is not your day, so I'm going to give you some limited time, all right? You just have 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. And once again, a very good evening to your cherished listeners and viewers. And a very good evening to my co-panelists as well. I listened to their presentation, obviously. And first of all, I want to make one thing clear. The NPP has never said or mentioned anywhere that the 24-hour economy is a bad policy. Nobody said that. We only argued that it was already taking place or in session. Now, first of all, they argued or they made some presentations. They explained what the policy was. They said it was a deliberate strategy, to penetrate or to transform the Ghanaian economy into a 24-hour working economy. And what do they seem to achieve? They hope to promote public service, enhance or create enough jobs for the people, and also to make sure that we are able to export more as a country. Now, I believe the basics of this whole policy lies on job creation. And I wouldn't sit here and say that the NDC's policy or this particular policy it's a bad one. It's actually a good one, I must commend. But one thing that we have to make very clear and positive is every successive government has put in efforts or measures to create jobs for the Ghanaian people. Currently, as we speak, we in the MPP have been able to raise the bar actually high. So it's actually crazy that the NDC today speak of job creation in such a very nice slogan and a catchy way of selling their views. Like I said, currently speaking, as we speak, the NPP within the past few years have been able to create about 2.1 million jobs for the Ghanaian people.
2.1 million
2.1 million, exactly. No, 2.3 actually. 2.3 million. 2.3 million jobs.
2.3 million jobs.
Unprecedented amount. 2.3 million jobs have been created for the Ghanaian people. 1.2 million in the public sector, while 975,000 in the private sector. So like I earlier said, per their presentations and delivery, we could tell that the basics for this is job creation. Now, we as a party, we believe there are better and more effective ways of creating jobs for the Ghanaian people.
Okay.
One thing that hinders development, we believe in promoting social and macroeconomic development in Ghana. We believe over the years, there has been a lot of things hindering our progress as a nation. And one of this particular problem that we are facing is the fact that there's high level of corruption in both our private and public sectors. So our flag bearer, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, has listed 70 strategic policies that he believes, when truly implemented, when he's given the mandate to lead this country, will be able to transform the Ghanaian economy. Once again, we are not saying that the 24-hour economy is a bad policy. We are just saying it is not going to be as effective as the policies that we brought out. And elections and politics is all about ideas. Who has the brighter idea? And I believe at the end of the day, we will be able to penetrate and be more effective in running the Ghanaian economy. We've shown over the years that we are the better ones when it comes to policy strategies. Now, for instance, GDP growth for the NDC between 2013 and 2016 was around 7.3%. 2016 to 2020 with the MPP was around 8.14%. This clearly should tell you that we are better in maintaining the Ghanaian economy and transforming the lives of Ghanaians. Now, secondly, when we run into an election, the elections are this year, and everyone is supposed to come out with policies and things they want to do for Ghana. The NDC are rallying behind the idea of this 24-hour economy, believing it is the solution to all the problems that we are facing as a country. I would want to make it clear, like I earlier said, the basis for that particular policy, again, is job creation. I believe Ghana, at this particular moment, is facing way more challenges. And the creation of job alone is not going to be enough to solve all the problems we are currently facing. That is why we as a party has listed 70. We are aiming to tackle corruption. We are aiming to restructure and keep our educational system on a different pedestal by the introduction of the ICT trainings. We are here to cut off a few taxes, making the economy a very buoyant economy, making every single Ghanaian to believe in the Ghanaian economy. We believe there are ways to create jobs. 24-hour economy, making it possible for people to work in 3 shifts, 8 hours each, of course, would employ more people. But we believe reducing interest rates in our banks will be able to create more jobs, for instance. We also believe to spend on public workers is going to create more jobs. We also believe to create business paying taxes, like to reduce business paying taxes on payrolls, will create a lot of jobs. So I believe they believe this particular policy is going to create jobs. We believe there are so many sectors, there are so many things we could touch on that will create more jobs. Like I repeated, 2.3 million jobs created in the past 3 years shows you or tells you that we have what it takes to actually put policies in place to actually create jobs for the Ghanaian people. So like I clearly say, this policy, I wouldn't sit here and say it's a wrong policy because in the UK it's been practiced. I think Germany somehow is trying to create this. Earlier we argued that this particular policy is already running. We have the hospitality industry running a 24-hour economy. We have some private sectors also running the same. So if they are here to, they said it's a deliberate strategy. That's already ongoing, but it's not deliberate enough. So they are coming in to make sure that it's deliberate enough. So I cannot sit down here and then talk down on the economy or this particular policy. But what I'm saying is we have listed 70 clear-cut policies that we believe, when implemented effectively, would turn the face of the Ghanaian economy around. So the NDC have already sold their ideas. They've spoken to the Ghanaian people. We've also made our policies known. We've also listed our 70 clear-cut policies that will transform the Ghanaian economy. So it's up to the Ghanaians to actually see for themselves and to decide on to which one they should actually buy on, if it's whether the 24-hour economy or the 70 clear-cut policies that we have listed. We intend to formalize the Ghanaian economy through the digitalization agenda and make it possible for every well-meaning Ghanaian to have the quality of ICT education. And we believe ICT industrialization can boost the Ghanaian economy. That's the direction we are taking as a government. We believe through digitalization we'll be able to cut down corruption in Ghana. We'll be able to effectively generate revenue internally like no other administration has ever done. We believe we have the solutions. We believe we have the know-how, the technical know-how, I must say. And then at the end of the day, it's left for the Ghanaian people to actually look into our manifestos, what we bring around the table. One is talking about a 24-hour economy. One has listed 70 clear-cut strategies to penetrate the Ghanaian economy and to uplift the face of the Ghanaian economy. So it's left for Ghanaians to actually decide. And like I said, I also made reference to our GDP growth in the Mahama era and how we did. So clearly, they believe they have the answers. We believe we also have the answers. When we brought the policy of free SHS, their presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama, on various platforms made it known that it was not possible. But the MPP at the end of the day made it possible, and every Ghanaian now is currently enjoying a free senior school education. We wouldn't sit here and say this is a bad policy, it cannot be done. We just hope that if they are given the mandate, it should be able to be implemented effectively. We believe the problems Ghanaians are facing is not just based on job creation. We, like I said, have created over 2 million jobs in the past few years. There were a lot of standing blocks hindering our social and macroeconomic development in Ghana. We believe corruption is one and the most deliberate Ghanaian actions that hinders our development. And through formalization of Ghanaian economy, through our digitalization agenda, we'll be able to cut down on that particular practice and generate more revenue internally.
Yeah, that's fine. So, yes, Mr. Wadud is saying that the Ghanaian would decide whether this policy is actually productive, competitive, and also a form of creating jobs for the Ghanaian public. Okay, he's trying to let us understand that, yes, it might be a good policy, but his party or the ruling party currently already have systems in place that is enhancing 24-hour economy. If I also heard him right, he said that it is just up to the companies or the various sectors to hook up to the technology and also digitalization. That this digitalization drive they are implementing right now to make a 24-hour economy a reality. Wow, it's just amazing. Doctor, let me quickly come back to you, okay? But yes, viewers, yet again, I think my producer would have to cut the show halfway because I think he has one or two things else to handle within the studio. So I would want to give still the opportunity to Dr. Na to come in again because he has had both guests or also a panel bring their opinions out. Yes, Dr. Na, you've heard your colleagues once again, and like I said, the floor is yours again. What do you have to tell us? But in brief, before I can take some of the questions people have for all of you.
Okay, thank you very much for bringing me in again. And having listened to both gentlemen on the 24-hour economy, I very much agreed with Charles on many of the issues that he talked about. But I must register that I strongly disagree with the last
Wadud. He's called Wadud.
Wadud.
Yeah,
yes,
Mr. Wadud.
Wadud who made a submission. And I think when he said that the MPP has never said the 24-hour economy is not it's not a bad policy, I think maybe he might not have heard the flag bearer of the MPP, Dr. Bamia, who chastised this very policy that it was a very bad idea that former President Mahama was suggesting to Ghana. So I think this issue is something that we have all heard about. And when he said, he made a point that the problem of Ghana is not about creation of jobs, which to me is a little bit shocking. I hope you agree with me, and host, that job creation is very important. There is that rippling effect. When a single family member has a job, what that means is that the income that he or she is going to get is going to help his or her family members to be able to take care of whatever it is. So,
can I come in? Or I just want to correct something.
No.
I didn't say job creation is not a problem. I have said that within the past few years, we'll be able to create 2 million jobs. Subsequent governments have also put in their efforts to create jobs. What we are currently facing is that every government that comes into power creates jobs. We have to look beyond that.
What is when you were speaking, I noted your point.
That's fine. So yes, you've made your point, but still, I still go back to Dr. Na. Dr. Na, can you continue?
Thank you very much. So the point I'm making is that the popularity or the efficacy of the 24-hour economy is making a lot of headlines because of the potential it has to be able to solve our unemployment challenges. So let me just give you an example. In the business confidence in Ghana, as we speak, under the MPP, is very, very low. For example, the private sector, in terms of business confidence, has reduced significantly by 31.6%. What that tells you is that people are no more interested in creating more jobs for people. for the young ones. So the jobs that he said they have been created, is he aware that unemployment rate has increased from 13% to 14.7% in the first quarter of this year? And the statistical Ghana Statistical Service. So the youth are looking for jobs and they are not getting. So the issue of this 24-hour economy is what is going to solve this problem. And I don't know how many minutes I have, but I want to touch on some very important industries.
Yeah, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, within the 2 minutes, that's what I just want to state, because it's very important. For example, this policy is going to touch on all kinds of industries, but it's going to focus more on the agro-processing industries, pharmaceutical, manufacturing, construction, extractive industries, sanitation, digital financial services, and the transportation services. So this policy is a very transformative, visionary policy, and the earlier or the much more serious we look at it, the better. So that is what I want to state. But there are other things that, especially the enabling environment, my last point, the enabling environment that will be created. There will be tax incentives, there will be financing support for companies that will be registered onto the 24-hour economy. It's not going to be compulsory. That's one thing that some people do not look at it critically. It is not a compulsory policy. That's when it is when the next NDC government comes, all companies in the public and the private sectors will be asked to join this 24-hour economy.
Yeah. So, Doctor, and let me come in here with my few questions. Okay.
Please do.
Yeah. So, you see this 24-hour economy from the NDC. Okay, Doctor. With all that I have seen in the media, okay, it seems all the NDC people who try to explain this policy, okay, they are not will I call it they are not all on the same path, but everybody has a different way of explaining 24-hour economy, because we've seen all the communicators using different explanations as to what the policy direction is when it comes to 24-hour economy. So it gives us this sense that, okay, those who are even bringing it or who are even claiming to be initiating this 24-hour economy don't know much about it, because we've seen former ministers, former communicators, or we've heard them give different explanations to it. Okay, and again, to be very honest with you, if I will be fair, I think it's only today that I would say you and Charles have been a bit consistent with the policy direction of the 24-hour. Honestly speaking, I haven't heard it anywhere that two NDC people or people who lean towards this policy share the same policy direction. It is only the two of you today that I have heard that. Okay. So what is actually the problem? That is one. Number two, okay, and I'll give you 1 minute to answer that, just brief, okay.
Thank you.
Number two, okay. The NDC's main opponent, okay, the MPP. I have heard the vice president give examples that with their technology and digitalization drive, okay, they feel that the 24-hour economy is already
in existence. Exactly.
Yeah. What dude? Can I ask him the questions I want to ask him? Yeah, it's already in existence. Okay, where he was giving examples of the passport service that you can apply online, which runs 24-hour, and the registration. What is the name? Registrar General, DVLA, and other like who does 24-hour, and also give. I think Doctor even mentioned it. Examples of the health sector that run 24-hour economy. So fine, if NDC is saying that, if NDC is saying that, okay, it is not going to be a compulsory thing for every company or every sector to run in, does that not boil down to the same argument this vice president is also chastising you on?
Thank you very much. Let me tackle the first question so that I don't forget.
I hope Charles is online. Okay, yeah, he's online.
Yes. So let me briefly touch on your two questions. About the first one is about inconsistency in terms of the definition of the 24-hour economy.
Right.
I've also been following the discussions both here in Germany and in Ghana as well. But I think what is very clear is that the mission of the NDC is to create sustainable jobs and building the Ghana we want. I think that is the message around which this 24-hour economy is being proposed. That at the end of the day, it is going to create sustainable jobs and to be able to enable or to help us as Ghanaians to build the kind of Ghana we want. I think where you have that sense of inconsistency coming in is maybe the potential of specific examples where this 24-hour economy will happen. But because we don't have time, I will not be able to espouse on it. But what I've listened to the communications officer of the NDC and other officials as well. They have been quite consistent in terms of stating the point that it is a deliberate policy intervention. So let me get to your next point for want of time. The fact that the argument that the 24-hour economy is already happening in some sectors. That is why I started my submission by saying that it is important to try to dispel some wrong notions. And that was one of the wrong notions I talked about, which is the fact that it is not new, it is already there and all that. But what I want you to notice is that, this 24-hour economy is not there for fun. It is there for a purpose. And the purpose is that you want to make sure that the economy expands to be able to create more jobs for the teeming unemployed youth. So you cannot say that because some selected sectors, critical sectors have been running 24/7, like what you have mentioned. How many are they? And I've already run through some of the industries that this policy is targeting. So what we have to be looking at is the potential of creating more jobs, not about the fact that let us start here small, and at the end of the day, our youth will still be unemployed. So for me, it is an attempt to try to lampoon this innovative policy. And I think that's what we have to look at it holistically.
Okay.
And be able to know the potential fully. Thank you.
That's fine. Charles, are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, when you're making your submissions, okay, I have one or two questions to also give to you so that you can just give me the answers to that. Yes, you talked about the fact that the policy is a direct and strategic policy. Okay, but then yet again, like I said, your opponents or your good friends, the MPP, feels that this policy you call direct, and you keep on using the word novel. It's not novel. Like I just asked the doctor, what is the implementation direction, so policy direction in making sure that, okay, we really feel the novelty of this 24-hour economy? Because let's say even now, okay, I can tell, okay, from my mom my auntie who traveled from Accra to Bolga by STC, bought tickets online, and she was sitting at home and was able to do that. Is that not a 24-hour economy?
Okay, thank you very much. But before I go to your question, your question, if I heard you clearly, you made reference to the fact that the novelty of this policy, right?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Yes, but to begin with, I just want to draw my colleague in studio's attention to the fact that I will forgive him maybe for want of time, he was unable to follow his flag bearer anytime he mounts the podium. So I will remind him that his flag bearer is on record to have said that the 24-hour economy proposed by former President John Dramani Mahama is a bad policy and it is a bad idea, when he paid homage to his hometown chiefs after his election as the leader of the MPP. So it is on public record that his flag bearer has chastised the policy as a bad policy. But for want of time, I wouldn't dwell much on my brother's denial that no one in the party has said the 24-hour economy is a bad policy. But I will grant him that because in his submission, he made the admission that the 24-hour economy policy is a good one and it's going to create jobs. So I will not dwell much on it. Yes, going forward, my brother also indicated that the vice president's drive for industrial digitalization is a tool to expand the economy and also to fight corruption. But to surprise my brother, what he is saying is the opposite of what is actually happening. Because even with the noise that the vice president is making about digitizing most of the government services, the latest corruption index, as released by Ghana Integrity Initiative, the Corruption Perception Index (CPI), the best performance of the Akufo-Addo government is the worst performance of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, which is 43%. So he cannot allude to the fact that the vice president is championing the digitalization drive, and for which reason it is curbing corruption. Just recently, we saw the foreign minister lamenting and agitating about the fact that corruption at the passport office was alarming, and he was ready to transfer all staff from the office. Again, the new finance minister, as appointed by His Excellency President Akufo-Addo recently, some 3 days ago, indicated that he is going to storm the ports harbor, the Tema harbor, to weed out corrupt officials, even though the vice president claims that the paperless system is fighting corruption. But the finance minister says that is contrary to what is happening on the ground. So to also talk about the digitization drive as a tool to get corruption, it is not true, because it only moves corruption from one person to the other. Because if you bring the money to me to be handed over to, let's say, my brother in studio, by virtue of handing over to me, I may take a portion of it.
That's fine.
So that I hand it over to my brother in studio. But with the introduction of digitalization, now the money will not come to me, but it will rather go to my brother in studio directly. So if my brother in studio is corrupt, it doesn't, the digitalization will not solve the corruption issue that we are talking about. So digitalization in this sense does not solve corruption.
So Charles, like I said, today we don't have much time, okay? So my producer is already signaling me that our time is up. So I want to give Wadu 3 minutes, but let me just give you 30 seconds to conclude. I'm just giving you 30 seconds to conclude then.
Okay, the novelty of this policy is the fact that the security arrangement we have currently is going to be beefed up, because the current 24-hour system that we have, which is by virtue of chance, and it is not by the deliberate policy, the security arrangement is just the usual security arrangement that we have. But the Excellency John Dramani is saying that with the arrangement is going to be beefed up to cater for the security concerns that people have. Also, there is no
okay, Wadud, yes. I think we are just lost, Charles.
Yes.
So yes, you have 3 minutes. Okay, to wrap up.
I want to say I just listened to my brother's presentation, and I think there are a few things I need to make clear. One cannot speak down on digitalization in Ghana, because the Vice President, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, has worked effectively to make sure that the dreams of Ghanaians, or ordinary Ghanaians, has been realized. Now, one thing that we all can agree to is that digitalization that has enhanced public service. You understand? We've been able to now, acquisition of a passport in Ghana, the Temaport duty payment, the shipping, I understand what is being done over there. Now, let's look at Germany, for instance. If you want an appointment with the Ausländer Behörde, you can sit at the comfort of your room, your living room, actually book an appointment, although they are closed. This is the power of digitalization. Public service will be greatly enhanced. Time consumption will be reduced. We'll be able to work effectively to one another. We can see the revenue generated at the Temaport within the past few years. You see, the thing is, people can speak about this 24-hour economy. and make it look like it is the answers to all our problems. I continue to say, and I'll repeat it here. Before I even go there, we've had the Vice President on various platforms saying that digitalization can even enhance and make this policy a better one. So wherever they are getting the information that the entirety of the MPP believe that it's a bad policy, I do not know. But we do not have time to dive very, very deeply into that, so I'd just like to continue. Now, secondly, we in the NPP have clear-cut policies to promote internally generated revenue. We are thinking directly into policies that can drive the Ghanaian economy. We want Ghana to be self-sufficient. Baume is coming in to continue to work on the policy or agenda we started, that is Ghana Beyond Aid. We want to be able to, we were actually on a very good space before COVID. And post-COVID, we've had some challenges which the NDC might agree to, although they hope to deny because they feel like it is one of their strategies of propaganda to actually penetrate the Ghanaian people. You can say before COVID, the Ghanaian economy was working marvelously. Inflation figures were really down. You could see the economic growth in Ghana. Post-COVID, we've had some challenges. The Russian-Ukraine war, these policies have really gladly affected Ghanaians. But today, we can comfortably say we've halted the depreciation of the Ghanaian cities. Through digitalization, we've been able to promote we've been able to promote the Ghanaian economy and actually brought the Ghanaian economy at a standstill. We've been able to put in clear-cut policies to drive us. Post-COVID, we were struggling. The city was nothing to write home about. But currently, we've been able to halt it. You can see that the economy is being revived again. Akufo-Addo said what? We can revive the economy, but we can't revive lost lives.
Good. We can revive the economy,
exactly,
but we can't revive lost lives.
It's evident for everyone to see. It is really sad that we had to go through difficult periods. It's not just a Ghanaian problem, it's a global problem. Even we in Germany, we are facing it. Post-COVID, everyone is facing it. Inflation figures are rising in Germany as well. Cost of living in Germany is also skyrocketing. So let's not limit this to Ghana and use as a means of propaganda to penetrate Ghana because an election year.
The NPP and the NDC
I'll say it here and I'll make it clear.
Continue to
NPP,
go this route.
NPP has the
Dr.
policies.
You see how your people always go this route. Everybody trying to defend his policy.
The clear-cut policies driven and written
and most of these policies are political inclined policies, but not citizen-centered policies. Because due to 24-hour economy, Doctor presented and Charles came to defend. Okay, if I hear Charles very well, he's talking politics, and if I hear you two very well, you talk politics. Though yes, this show is a political show, but we also need to consider who are the beneficiaries of these political policies, or these policies these politicians, or you politicians bring on board. Mr. Wadud, yes, I have been biased to you because today is not your show, or today is not your day. But rather, I will say sorry to Dr. Na because I wanted us to go up to 10 o'clock, but due to the fact that the producer has an emergency and he has to go, we have to cut this program short. But Dr. Na, I just want you to give us or give the listeners assurance that you would be with us as one of our panelists for this show. Anytime we need you, we'll reach out to you to join us, because I've seen that people have recommended that your presentation was great and we should have you on the show. Okay, we are building a team, and it would be very nice we keep on having you to come and share your opinion on some of these policies and issues surrounding politics, both local, and when I say local here, I mean within Germany and also international, including Ghana. We don't limit ourselves to only that of Ghana, but we go global. Any issue that comes up that we feel like discussing, we talk about it. Yes, if you also have research on certain issues and you feel that, yes, we need to discuss it for others and listeners to get educated or to get the information, please be free to let us bring it on board and discuss it. Listeners, thank you so much for staying with us. Yes, once again, I had Wadud Kundima in-house. I had Charles Mensah from the NDC. And yes, my guest, Dr. Na, a researcher in Germany. Thank you so much. And with time, I don't know if my producer will permit me to read some messages. Producer, or you just put them on the screen, then let me quickly, like 30 seconds, let me brush over some of the messages so that our listeners will know that, yes, we still have them at heart. Yes, Cletus. Oh, okay, you are going too fast, producer. Yes, but Toglo says that great show. Yes, we also say thank you for joining. Yeah, Cletus says a 24-hour economy is what? Oh, I don't get your word very well, but been operated in Ghana long ago. Okay, so he's trying to say that the 24-hour economy has been operating in Ghana for a while now. So it is not a novel thing that one has to make noise about. Okay, Mr. Producer, can I get another one? Yes. Sefa says that, ask him if NAPCO is part of the 2.1 million jobs his party created. And I think, Wadu, this question goes to you. Is it really true your party created that number of jobs?
Exactly. The figures are there. The statistics are there. You can check it out.
You sat here and said 2.3.
2.3 million jobs were created under the MPP within the past 4 years. But it's there for everyone to see.
Okay. It's okay. So fine. Let me go on. Sefas again comes to say that the 24-hour economy sounds good, but definitely not a golden bullet to shoot down the economy.
Not at all.
Goals of, yes, that. But you see, it is not up to you, the MPP, to say that, okay, allow the Ghanaian to do that by voting, okay, the ex-president back into power. Then that would decide. Yeah, so Toklo comes back to say, Wadud, 2.3 million jobs, where?
The figures are there.
Yeah, so next time when you're coming
next time I can bring you the list of all the jobs that have been created.
Yeah, so doctor, next time, okay, I would actually want to bring Wadud back because the MPP has visited us several times and tried to let us understand that they are the best managers of the country. Though they had challenges of COVID, yes, we do agree. COVID came 2 years and a lot of things went at halt. But yes, still, okay, that is not an excuse enough you can give to the Ghanaian. Yes, you can try your best, but then also lay out your policies for the Ghanaian public to buy into it. So listeners and viewers, we thank you so much for joining us. And we hope to see you again next time. So I give thanks to my producer, Mr. Johnny, a wonderful and a solid guy. Our CEO, Mr. Desmond, thank you so much for always guiding us and being with us. And my lovely guest, wow. God bless you so much for making time to share your opinion and your intelligence with us. And my lovely audience, God bless you all. Thank you and join us again next week. Bye-bye from me.